Minneapolis isn't just growing, it's in the middle of its biggest construction boom ever. In fact, Minnesota just approved a $2.8 billion project taking place in the western suburbs alone, the most expensive project the state has ever seen. And that's just one piece of what's happening. Today, I'm going to break down 9 major mega projects hitting Minneapolis by 2026, from massive mixed-use developments to infrastructure that's reshaping the entire neighborhoods. By the end, you'll know exactly where to position yourself before prices jump up, which areas are about to explode, and how to get ahead of the market while there's still time. So let's get into it. First, we're going to talk about North Commons Park. It's a $45 million recreational investment. So the city of Minneapolis's park board just made the biggest single investment in park history, $45 million at North Commons. And I'm going to break down exactly why that matters if you're thinking about buying anywhere near this park. So construction began in June of 2025. This is one of Minneapolis' oldest parks. Believe it or not, it was built in 1907 and one of the biggest in terms of size, almost 27 acres. The park, which is getting completely torn down and rebuilt with modern features. The swimming pool is also getting a huge rebuild at the same time. Construction on North Commons Community Center starts in 2026 with brand new facilities. The field house is going to have 5 times more indoor space than what's currently there now. It's going to be 22,000 square foot of field house, and it's going to add 51,000 square feet total to the facility. Everything is planned to be done by 2027. So it's a 2-year build, which is quite a long time. So how is this going to affect property values? When cities invest big money into parks, the homes nearby typically go up in value. You usually see home prices jump somewhere between 5 and 15% for properties near the park, with 20% premiums for homes adjacent or fronting passive parks. This increase happens over time after the park improvements are completely done. So the park serves nearly 10,000 youth who live within a 1 mile radius, with better recreational facilities, making the neighborhood way more attractive to families with kids. More families wanting to move there means higher demand for homes, which means higher value, right? So if you're looking near North Commons Park, this matters a lot. It shows the city is willing to spend serious money in the area. Public investment like this help property values grow for years to come. Now, while Minneapolis is rebuilding parks, the western suburbs are building something families have been asking for: state-of-the-art community centers. Chanhassen just finished a multi-million-dollar project, and if you're looking for homes out there, here's why this matters. But hey, if this is your first time watching one of our videos, I'm Jason HUERKAMP, and I run the HUERKAMP Home Group here in the Twin Cities. We've been one of the top real estate teams here in the Metro for over 15 years, and we're kind of obsessed with tracking projects like the ones in this video, because these are things that actually move the needle on property values. So if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and smash that like button down below, because we put out videos like this every single week showing you the best homes and neighborhoods in the area. So Chanhassen Bluffs Community Center. Here's the question that the buyers asked me about Chanhassen. What makes it a premier western suburb? Well, it's investments like this, right? Well, this $80 million community center they're opening in a few months is going to be a big part of that answer. So this is currently planned to be more than 180,000 square foot building. Construction has not yet begun. The design work is continuing through 2025. The facility is scheduled to begin construction in May of 26, with completion in 2028. Which is still a few years away. So again, this is 180,000 square feet. It's going to have 2 NHL-sized hockey rinks, figure skating, and other sports, multiple community rooms, a dance studio for different community programs, a 3,800 square foot fitness center, a field house with courts for pickleball, basketball, volleyball, and a turf field for soccer and other sports. A 3-lane walking track and indoor playground around the property for exercise and for family activities. You know what's cool though? Suburbs add amenities, but transit adds access. And that's what really moves property values. So the new E-line already sparked over $1 billion in development. And if you're near University or Hennepin, you'll really see why that matters. But first, let's talk about the community center. Why it matters. Community centers like this make suburbs way more attractive to families. When people are deciding where to buy, they look at what communities are nearby. Parks and community facilities are huge selling points for homes in the area. A brand new state-of-the-art community center like this becomes a major draw. Chanhassen has experienced population growth. Projects like this keep that growth going by giving residents reasons to stay. It also gives potential home buyers more reasons to choose Chanhassen over other suburbs. So this is going to be really great for property values in Chanhassen. Community centers drive demand, especially from families with kids. Parents want access to sport leagues, fitness programs, and community events. The demand helps push home prices up in the surrounding areas. So community centers work great for suburbs, but cities need transit to keep up. And St. Paul's going all in on that. The new Central Station project is one of the biggest investments downtown has seen in years. And if you're eyeing condos nearby, it could have a really big impact on property value. Downtown St. Paul's Central Station is a $130 million mixed-use transit hub. So check this out. That $130 million project that could totally change downtown St. Paul, they're turning what used to be a rough, tight rail stop into a spot with apartments, shops, and plazas. And it could really boost the whole area. So the developer, Flannery and Collins, which is a big Indianapolis-based company, they're transforming Central Station site in downtown St. Paul. The site, which is relatively small at 1.66 acres, which is pretty compact for downtown. The main building is going to be a 20-story tower. There's also a 6-story building as part of the project. The two buildings are going to be connected by a skyway, which we have a ton of in Minnesota. So this project will have 300 apartments. There's going to be a 10,000 square foot store space for retail on the ground floor. So built right on top of Central Station light rail, a key spot on the Green Line. Designed so people can live, work, and get around without needing a car. The ground floor shops and restaurants bring energy and foot traffic to downtown. This is going to add hundreds of new apartments, helping St. Paul grow downtown and the community. So why should you pay attention? If you're thinking about buying a condo or an apartment in downtown St. Paul, so this area around Central Station is gonna get way more walkable and fun. As this development gets built, the whole area is going to feel different. So that's the power of being on the Green Line. But there's another transit line opening that's gonna connect a huge chunk of the metro. The E-Line, right? It's a 13-mile bus rapid transit. And if you're looking along University, Hennepin, or France Avenues, here's what you need to know. So Metro E-Line enhanced transit connectivity. All right, let me show you why. E-Line opening soon is a big deal and bigger than most people realize. Since they announced that this route, over $1 billion in development are happening along it. And we haven't seen the real impact yet. So this new 13-mile bus rapid transit route connecting different parts of the metro. It's going to connect the Green Line Westgate Station in St. Paul to Southdale Transit Center in Edina. The route goes along University and Hennepin and France Avenues, which are major streets here in the Twin Cities. Since 2014, more than $1.3 billion worth of stuff has been built along the E-Line route. That includes 3,100 homes that are worth over $916 million. Bus rapid transit makes it easy to get around without a car, boosts homes values along this route, and connects major hubs and job centers. The University of Minnesota, Uptown, and top shopping spots, including Southdale Mall, makes car-free living way more doable for people who want that lifestyle. BRT systems can increase property values by 4 to 24% for residential properties near transit. Now, here's the thing about transit. It works great near cities, but suburbs have to create destinations differently. Blaine and the North Metro figured out that they're going to do this by building a $750 million mixed-use town center, and that's going to make the city feel really completely different. We'll break that down and what it looks like. So who should pay attention to this? If you're looking for homes along University, Hennepin, or France Avenue, this matters, especially if you're within walking distance of new stations. This is going to be really great for property values in these areas. New transit opens doors, but the Mall of America is adding entertainment on a massive scale with a huge water park project. And if you own in Bloomington, or for that matter, many other parts of the Twin Cities, you should be thinking about, should I buy a property that's going to be close to this water park? Because it's going to have a big impact. So Mall of America Mystery Cove Water Park is a $430 million entertainment expansion of the biggest mall in America, the second biggest mall in North America. Let me show you why the Mall of America is dropping $430 million on a water park. And it's not just about entertainment. When your city's biggest tourist attraction expands, property values in the surrounding area typically go up. But here's what the data shows. The total project around $430 million, and that includes the water park itself, all the parking, and financing costs. The water park portion alone is about $338 million. This will be smaller than the original plans, but absolutely massive at 143,000 square feet of water attractions. So some of the key features are a wave pool, a lazy river, 30 different slides and rides, a splash pad for the kids, multiple pools and spas are being built for different purposes. A retractable, clear roof design that opens fully on warm days and cuts energy costs by up to half, smart for both the environment and the budget. So, city-approved funding in 2025, construction starts next spring, 2026. Opening is planned for 2029. $160 million total split between the water park and parking upgrades. The city's using future tax revenue from the mall to help pay for it. So, the Mall of America is Minnesota's #1 tourist spot. It brings in 40 million visitors from all parts of the world. So, this is a big deal for anyone buying near the Mall of America. Likely, it's going to boost nearby property values. Strong tourism keeps local taxes lower, which is awesome. So that's how entertainment affects property values. All right, so what Blaine's never had in its entire history as a city, a real downtown. They're fixing that with a $750 million town center. And if you're looking for homes in Blaine, especially near this project, here's why property values are gonna jump. So it's a 70-acre development near 105th Ave and Nassau Street and Radisson Road, right next to the National Sports Center. So site work began in November of 2024. Phase 1 includes a full-service hotel and a restaurant and food hall, a 3,000-seat multi-function stadium, expandable to 5,000 for baseball, concerts, and events, a golf and entertainment complex, a year-round pickleball facility for all those people that love short tennis, with a restaurant, 10 new lighted turf fields at the National Sports Center, additional hotels, and hundreds of housing units, expanded restaurants, and professional office space. Now the 10th largest city in Minnesota is still growing and growing fast. Now, speaking of major investments, here's the biggest one that I haven't covered yet, the Green Line extension. It's almost $3 billion and it's connecting the western suburbs with both downtowns. We're going to break down exactly where the stations are and why being within a couple miles matters at the very end. So the National Sports Center draws 4.2 million visitors annually, with 40% coming from outside of the market. This development keeps those visitors in Blaine for dining, shopping, and overnight stays instead of going elsewhere. Mixed-use entertainment districts make suburbs more desirable by combining space and walkability, dining, and entertainment. They attract buyers who want suburban living with urban convenience. Homes within a few miles of town center will benefit most as the area transforms. The project will turn Blaine into more of a destination, not just a bedroom suburb. So now, if Blaine can build a new downtown, what can North Minneapolis do with the 48 acres of old industrial land along the Mississippi River? The answer is a $350 million mixed-use district. Upper Harbor Terminal is a $350 million riverfront district. So Upper Harbor Terminal is the most important project happening in North Minneapolis now. When you turn an industrial site into a mixed-use riverfront district, property values in the surrounding area just don't jump, they explode. So here's what really the whole thing is all about. The $350 million redevelopment transforming 48 acres of old industrial land along the Mississippi River in North Minneapolis. So the partnership is between the city of Minneapolis and United Properties. The mixed-use district with 520 housing units, retail, offices, and 20 acres of public riverfront park with trails. So phase 1 is 180,000 square feet of advanced manufacturing space, a community hub, a community programmed commercial space, including an 8,000-seat amphitheater, and infrastructure was completed in the summer of 2024 with amphitheater Construction scheduled to begin the fall of 2025 and completed for the 2027 concert season. So why is this so important? This brings major investment to North Minneapolis after decades of limited development. Construction is expected to generate over 500 temporary jobs with more than 250 permanent positions once the venue is operational. Open new public spaces like the riverfront park and amphitheater for the community. Transforms an old industrial site into a vibrant mixed-use district, raising nearby property values. So who should pay attention to this? If you're looking for homes in North Minneapolis, especially within a mile or two of the Upper Harbor Terminal site, this is a long-term project that's going to unfold over the next 10 to 15 years. So early buyers often benefit the most from this kind of transformation. While the Upper Harbor Terminal transforms North Minneapolis, St. Paul is doing something similar at even a bigger scale. Highland Bridge is over $1 billion on the old Ford site. And if you're looking for new neighborhoods in St. Paul, here's what makes this one different. So Highland Bridge, the former Ford manufacturing site where they were building cars, is a $1 billion mixed-use neighborhood. So let's break down why the Highland Bridge isn't just another development, it's a complete neighborhood being built from scratch. We're talking about thousands of homes, retail, 55 acres of parks, and if you're shopping in St. Paul, here's what makes this different from everything else. So over $1 billion is being used to redevelop the old former Ford plant site in St. Paul. It covers 122 acres. About 3,800 housing units are planned, from homes to townhomes to apartments. This includes 150,000 square feet of retail space, 265,000 square feet of office space, and more than 55 acres of parks and public space. Construction began in 2019, and the full build-out is expected to take somewhere between 10 and 15 years. So this is going to transform an indie industrial site into a vibrant, walkable neighborhood. It's going to add thousands of new homes and boost St. Paul's tax base. It's expected to generate over $11 million per year in new tax revenue once fully built out. It's going to create a mix of city-style amenities and community neighborhood feel. 20% of the housing is going to be affordable, with 10% at 30% of the median income or less. Anyone looking in Highland Park or nearby St. Paul neighborhoods, especially buyers, may benefit from appreciation as more phases are finished. Now, from new residential neighborhoods, let's talk about the project that ties everything together, the Green Line extension. And if you're buying anywhere in the western suburbs, here's why being near a station is about to matter more than anything else we've covered. The Metro Green Line extension is a $2.9 billion game changer. So check this out. Minnesota has never spent this much money on a single project, ever. $2.9 billion for the Green Line extension. And if you're owning a property in Eden Prairie, St. Louis Park, Hopkins, Minnetonka, here's exactly what this kind of investment does to home values. So the largest public works project in Minnesota history adds 14.5 miles of light rail connecting downtown Minneapolis and Eden Prairie with 16 stations. It passes through St. Louis Park, Hopkins, and Minnetonka. Construction began in 2018 and now is 85% complete, with testing underway currently as we speak. Opening is planned for 2027, so we've got a lot of testing going on, a year's worth to get this thing going, after completing 4,000 safety tests. So you might be asking yourself, why does this all matter? Because you're going to have direct one-seat ride from Eden Prairie to downtown St. Paul with no transfers needed. It's an estimated 32-minute travel from Southwest Station in Eden Prairie to Target Field Station, Go Twins, in Minneapolis. So who should really pay attention to this? Well, home buyers and investors in Eden Prairie, Minnetonka, Hopkins, and St. Louis Park, commuters and professionals who prefer a car-free access to downtown. So here's the reality. Billions in investment are hitting the Twin Cities right now, and property values are going to jump if you're near the transit, near the new districts, near the riverfront projects. But here's the thing, they don't jump equally. Some streets will see 15% appreciation, while others will see 5%. The difference is knowing exactly where the stations are, where the infrastructure money is going, and getting in before everyone else catches on. If you're thinking about buying or investing, don't wait for the rush when the Green Line extension opens in 2027. Reach out now. We'll track these projects and know exactly where to position you before prices spike. And if you're seriously considering making a move in Minneapolis, check out last week's video where we did a full drive of downtown Minneapolis to show you all the city has to offer. Thanks for watching, and I will see you at the next house.